how to be witty over text. In this video, you're going to find out exactly how it's done. I'm going to show you some real life examples so you can see the art of wittiness firsthand. Let's get into the first one. This is one of the guys from our mastermind group. So he opens the girl because she has a lot of photos of her lifting weights, and so does he. So he says, what I feel like our first day will just be us arguing over who can squat more. So pretty witty opener, right? Starts off good and it's personalized, which are the best types of openers. She says, you will definitely win. I'll try to give you a run for your money though. He says, good girl. I like a little competition, right? And this is good, right? Because he's kind of building into the frame like we're having competition. Plus he's also using good girl, which makes him seem more dominant. She says, and what about a lot of competition? He says, you can save that for our pillow fights. Definitely a pretty witty text. She says, I hope you're not fond of feathered ones or where footprints create a huge mess. He says, I don't think footprints are the only thing that would make a mess. So again, this is a play on words, right? He's using an innuendo, right? Again, this also makes the conversation just a little bit more flirty. She says, wow, I hate spell check. How does going to turn into footprints? So she's just complaining about spell check. And he says, I think we got the gist of it. How's your Sunday fun day coming along? So this is just a good way of kind of progressing to the next conversation topic. She says, super great. I enjoyed coffee with my beloved friends. I took my puppy to get groomed. It'd be funny if he was like, yeah, did you get yourself groomed too? But no, he says, oh, a puppy, what kind is it? So again, this is not designed to be witty or flirty. This is just building some banter, some investment. Like you want to have some normal talk combined with some flirting and some witty lines. Like you don't want just to be all like one-liner after one-liner. She says, he's a chocolate golden doodle. He says, oh, hopefully he won't get jealous. You found someone else to cuddle with, so pretty good transition. She's like, oh, but I haven't. So she's just teasing him right now. It's just, she's giving him a little shit, right? He says, you're right. I still need to find out if you're qualified for my world-renowned cuddles. And this is a really good reframe, right? Because she's saying like, haha, well, no, I haven't decided I'm going to cuddle with you. And he's like, yeah, we don't even know if you're qualified, right? It's a good reframe. She says, well, I still need to find out if you can handle my world-renowned sass. Now, typically when I get this text, I'll say something like, hopefully it comes with a world-renowned ass, right? That's also a good play on words. But let's see what he says. He says, the sassier the better. I enjoy putting girls like you in their place. And this works well if the girl's a brat. And this one definitely seems like she is one. She says, my place is above yours, delightfully laughing at your efforts as you struggle to try taming me. A lot of guys would fuck up here. A lot of guys would be like, what the fuck? They would either get butthurt or they would just start backtracking and say, no, I didn't mean it like that, right? But you really have to, at this point, like you're just kind of committed. You have to basically respond with something that's witty. And he says, that's an interesting way of saying, pinned to my wall with the fistful of your hair in my hand. So just kind of the grammar here is a little confusing, but you get the gist of it. She says, you couldn't catch me, much less pin me if you tried. I hope you remember to pack a lunch for the day. I make you wish you had a better skill set. And again, he says, that's the easy part. I could do it with my eyes closed. The difficult part will be figuring out when to stop spanking you and when to start forcing you onto your knees. So pretty good. Now it's becoming a lot more sexual. You can force me say please for you on your best day. Forcing me onto my knees is a pretty big stretch. So this girl is definitely a brat. What a brat means is a girl who likes to test a guy to make sure that he's confident he's really an alpha, right? And if she senses that you're weak or you start backtracking, you're done. He says, you'll be doing anything I say when I'm finished with you. And she's like, in your dreams. He says, I've seen this act before. I'm sure you all talk. And she's like, how many times? This is a good way of calling her out. How many times? Enough. And then she's like, then show me, right? So now it's moving forward towards a meetup. He says, feeling spontaneous. She says, maybe a little. And he's like, how far are you? So just logistics. Not too far. Come through and let's have some fun. I would, but it's a school night. And here he playfully calls her out. So you're all talk after all. Oh, hush, I need my beauty sleep. And then he says, what's a good night this week? Here's just logistics. They're talking about when they can meet up. So they're scheduled for tomorrow. She's like, perfect. Is there anything you'd like me to bring? He says, I have plenty of things to entertain us. Just wear something sexy. And when you sexualize the conversation like that, you can just invite the girl straight over because it's pretty clear, you know, what is going to happen. But again, if you're just like, hey, you want to come over and hook up, right? It's not really going to have that same effect. A lot of girls will be like, no. All right, so here's the texting part. She texts him. He says, hey, sexy. She's just asking him if he came out earlier. And then here's just logistics, address, and they meet up. They hook up. He texts her, that was fun. She's like, very fun devil emoji. So again, if we go back like 4 screenshots, you might be thinking like, okay, this girl, he's never going to get a date with this girl, right? But you can see how you can turn it around. And again, being witty is a huge part of this interaction. Now let's take a look at another one. This is also from a mastermind member, but a different one. And in this, you're going to see how to handle a girl who's a lot less invested. So you're going to be going through the first or second screenshot, you're going to be thinking like, wait, like this girl's just going to disappear. She's just like here for attention. But we're going to see how you're going to turn it around. So he says, you seem like the perfect mix of cute and trouble. And she says, called it. He says, cool. I know just to handle you. And she doesn't respond. So he says, oh no, made, and I guess her name is here. So he's like, oh no, I made you shy. And she's like, more like threw me off. He says, I'm sure you'd appreciate a bit of forwardness. And look, every girl's going to say yes to that. It's called a truism. She says, I do respect it, yes. He says, glad to hear. Are you from here originally? So yeah, every conversation is going to involve a little bit of like get to know you talk, just like regular conversation. We're just bantering with a girl. Yes, I am. Are you blah, blah, blah native too? He says, from the Philippines originally, moved when I was young. Yes, Asian guys can get laid. She's like, wow, that's cool. He says, lost the sexy accent, unfortunately. It's a good play on words, right? Because no one really thinks, Filipino accent, which is Tagalog, which when they speak there is like sexy, right? But he's kind of having fun with the idea. And she sends him a laughing emoji. And again, she's pretty low investment so far. He says, so what are you looking for on here? She's just like, 4 friends. A lot of guys would also give up here. But look at the witty response he has. You plus me equals more than friends. And also the one thing I want you guys to also pay attention to is that both guys are not afraid to take social risks, right? You're not going to be able to be really witty if you're just really afraid about fucking up. You have to take some social risks. She just says cute, and he says not as our date will be, so another play on words. And here she says smooth. And he says, do you like wine? She says, I do enjoy wine, which is Polo Boston I'm soon. Depends. Light or red? Sweet red. Okay, then we can split a bottle OL. So here's just logistics. They're talking about when they can meet. And then he invites her straight over. And in this one, it wasn't nearly as sexual as the other one. So she says, I'd rather meet in public first, not that you're a serial killer or something, just would make me more comfortable. And here's the key word. She says, I'd rather meet somewhere in public first. That means that she's DTF. Basically means like, hey, show up on the date, don't be weird, don't be creepy, don't fuck up, don't have some kind of a panic attack or seizure, and I'll go home with you. And he's joking around. He says, oh, I forgot my ex upstate. No killing this month, but I'm down. Let's drink. Let's drinks at a bar first and then wine and mine. If you're more comfortable, deal. So again, kind of reframing it to really establish that she's going to go back to his place. She says, yes. Cool, shoot me your number. And then he says, I think you forgot to hit send, babe. And bam, she drops the number. And there we go. That's 2 examples of how you can be really witty over text. So to quickly recap, being witty involves being able to take social risks. You can't play it super safe. And also you want to be using innuendo. So that's a really good one. You can use a play on words like you saw in the examples. There's a lot of different techniques you can use. But I think these examples really show you guys kind of the direction you need to move in if you want to make your shit more witty. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out our free Tinder guide. Link is going to be in the description. Shows you how to get really good photos so you get more matches, how to write the kind of bio that's going to make you stand out, and of course text game. So in addition to being witty, all the other things you need to know to text girls. And best of all, it's free. Link in the description. Thank you guys, and until next time.